Indika is an indie horror game with some interesting themes and gameplay elements. You play as a nun and go on a journey while you have the devil speaking to you in your head. It has 16 achievements and takes an average of about 6 hours to complete. And yes, of course, this is another one that the devs sent me a review code for, and now, let's get to hunting. We'll be going through the achievements in the order that they show up in the game, and I'll add a little label to which chapter they're in, so if you need to just go back and clean up a few, then you can just reload those specific chapters. The first achievement you come across will be Sisterly Love for knocking down the ladder in the tower. During your first task in the monastery, you're going to want to stick to the left and go along the wall until you come up to a doorway with a piano and a ladder on top of it. Try to climb up that piano, ladder, and the chairs, it'll all fall down, and you'll get this achievement. Next will be Unholy Water for drowning in the water 5 times. You'll be able to get this as you're making your way down from the monastery and you reach a river that you have to cross. Just jump into it 5 times to get this achievement before you go across. Then we have Portaitissa, or something like that, for finding the icon above the cave. After you get across the river, you'll come up to a cave, go through there until you find a ladder on the right side, grab that, and carry it all the way back out to the entrance of the cave and set it down. You can then climb up and grab the item from above the cave entrance. True Virtue is going to be shortly after that for making it through the cave section in one prayer. This really isn't hard to do, as long as you know the path, so let's go ahead and get into it. You'll be on the elevator, and as soon as it drops and turns red, you're going to want to start running to get up. You'll go around to the right and go all the way down and jump across to the other side. Then go up the boxes and on the ledge. Climb up the part of a bridge, and then quickly use the prayer button to pray for a second to get back over to the other side. Now you can just run over, climb up over the elevator, drop down, and use the prayer for another second to go across the final bridge. And as long as you don't pray for very long each of those times, you'll get this one pretty easily. Next will be Tribute to the Deceased for praying for the deceased. This will be as soon as you come up to a couple of guys under a bridge and a general or something that's impaled by some metal. After that cutscene, just hit the button to pray and you'll get the achievement. Then we have Rachmaninoff for hitting the piano 5 times against the wall. Shortly after the last achievement, you'll just make your way into a building with a few floors. You'll pass the room with the piano in it and keep going upstairs to where a large safe is. You'll need to grab that and just push it to one side of the room, then the other, and repeat. And the piano is going to slide around as the building tilts, so you just have to keep doing that until you get the achievement. Piety is going to be for praying while being chased by the dog, and it's going to be quite a bit later on after traveling with Ilya, the guy that saves you. You'll be going through a big warehouse, and the dog is going to come out of nowhere chasing you down, and you just have to run. Once you get to this room, where you shut the door and you only have a few seconds before the dog breaks through, you're going to push the table up to the next doorway, climb on top of it, and then pray while looking at this picture for the achievement. Next is going to be Meticulousness for destroying all of the crates with the crane at the station. Eventually you'll get to a point where you have to use a crane and a big container to slam it into all of the boxes to crush them. Once you get through the last one of those, you'll get that achievement. Then we have Bream for falling 5 times in the fish dryer, and you'll know what part that is when you get there. You'll come up to a big section of hanging spinning fish, and you'll need to avoid them while spinning to the other side. For this achievement though, you do need to get hit and drop down 5 times. Like shooting fish in a barrel will be in the same area, but for never falling while going through the fish dryer. That means you'll either need to exit and reload the chapter to do this, or just wait until you finish the game and then just load it later on to clean this one up. It's pretty self-explanatory, just navigate through this area, then to the next section of spinning fish until you finally get the achievement. Of course, if you do fall, you have to reload the chapter from the beginning to get that done. Next up will be Abstinence for watching the drying scene. This is part of the story that you have to go through, and you'll know when you get there, just like you know you gotta hit that join button to become a channel member. We have membership levels ranging in price with perks like some dope emotes that you can use in the comments of videos and streams, special membership roles over on our Discord, and even being featured in the producer shoutout section at the end of videos. Then there's John Damascus for getting to the scene where you have to cut Ilya's hand off. It's another story-related achievement that you have to go through, so there's that. Desire for a Kiss is for drowning in the lake 10 times. This is going to be once you get to the part where it switches you over to some 2D art style, and you have to go over a bunch of frogs that are going under the water to the beat of the music. Just jump into the water 10 times and you'll get the achievement. Next will be a matching pair for finding a pair of bast shoes. The first one is going to be a bit later on when you get to a portion of the game where you're going to have to pull a lever to bring some platforms up so you can climb up to the top. I'll let that play out here so you know how to do that, and grab this shoe. You'll then need to go outside and to the left, go straight to this back wall, and then take a right over to the wooden bridge over to a balcony. In here, you'll find this other shoe and get the achievement. Then there's Anecdote for finding the indecent book. When you're going under a sort of overpass area along some scaffolding, Ilya is going to go over to the right, then you can go to the left over to a lift, take it down, run over to the other side to jump on a big block, and climb up to the next floor. Then head over to the left and you can get that book. Now the last achievement is Kudets for finishing the game. Of course, this is going to be at the start of the, I guess, big reveal sort of thing, but it's story related and you get it at the end of the game, so self-explanatory. And with that, we have 100% of the achievements in Indika. Now like, subscribe, become a member, and go check out some of our other 100% guides.